Hey, what's up you guys? It's Helen again, and today I'll be going over my monthly spread for the month of February. February is one of my favorite months because it's so short and yet you still get awesome wintry weather, and also it's my birthday month. So I thought I'd walk you guys through how I'm setting up my February monthly spread in my passion planner. First off, I'll be showing you guys some of the major tools that I'm using for this spread. For stickers, I'll be pulling from this large sticker book by Vicky Boutin. I won this in an Instagram giveaway, and I love how there's a huge range of stickers and colors that I can use for any spread. I'm also pulling out this 24 pack of Fiddler fine line drawing pens that I got from Amazon. These pens are super affordable, and they also have a really fine tip that's great for very specific work. For my washi tape, I'll be using this really cute dotted washi tape that I got from AliExpress. I feel like the colors really represent February well without being too in your face with lovey-dovey stuff. And of course, I've got to pull out my good, reliable black ballpoint Muji pens. Last week I used only the 0.38, but this time I'll be using both sizes for my monthly spread. Another old favorite coming out are my Crayola super tip markers. These markers are like my old faithful. They show up in every single one of my spreads. And yeah, those are the major tools that I'll be using for this spread, and as always you can check the description box of this video to see more specific things about them. To start off, I'm going to grab that polka dotted washi tape and use it to cover these gray boxes that are at the beginning of the month. The gray boxes by themselves can be a little dismal looking and take away from the rest of your spread, so I like covering them up with whatever washi tape I'm using. Because this washi tape is a bit on the thinner side, I had to do 3 layers of washi, but it's okay because at the end I just left a little bit off at the boundaries of the box and cut them all away with a knife so that I have a very clean edge. Unfortunately, I didn't realize until later that because I was using a pretty clear and translucent washi tape, you could still see the gray boxes in the background, but it's okay because sometimes for some people Valentine's Day can be a little dismal and sad, so it's okay to let that gray peek through, I guess, in this situation. My birthday actually falls the day before Valentine's Day, and I always feel really bad for the people I'm dating at the time because it means that they have to figure out like 2 celebrations for 1 week rather than just 1. That's why I always offer to do something super chill for Valentine's Day, and also because I'm an introverted person, so going out on a huge date isn't always my favorite thing to do. This year my boyfriend and I are just getting some chicken wings, and we're probably going to watch whatever we find on Disney Plus or Netflix. And as for the day before, on my birthday, I'm probably going to go to McDonald's as I usually do and order whatever I want off the menu because it's my birthday, and then I'll probably just walk around the city gathering all the free stuff that you usually get on your birthday, like Sephora and Starbucks and ice cream and stuff like that. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you're going to be doing for the Valentine's Day weekend. Even if you don't have a significant other, because it's a long weekend, I think. Maybe like invest in some self-care, do a face mask, get some fast food, watch some Netflix, do whatever you want, because you know, Valentine's Day isn't just about the people you love, but it's also about loving yourself. I'm not Korean, but I have a lot of Korean friends, and I know that it's a thing in like Korean culture to eat jjajangmyeon or black bean noodles on Valentine's Day if you're single. So, you know, if you're down for that, if you don't have black bean noodles, just like make a cup of ramen, sit down in front of like Netflix, and just chill for the night because you deserve it. So next, I'm going to be taking my markers and using them to write a few important dates into my planner. To make sure that the color I chose matches the washi tape I used, I'm just going to use an old notepad that's also white and draw a quick line. Next, I'm going to take my ruler and use the same marker to draw a straight horizontal line through the boxes of each of my important dates. For example, I'm going to be going on a several-day retreat near the beginning of the month, and so I'm going to draw my line through 3 of those boxes to represent that the event is taking place throughout the entire weekend. I define important events like these as trips, obviously, but also important test dates and birthdays and stuff like that. After each line, I'm going to use my .38 black ballpoint Muji pen to write down the actual names of the events that are happening. If you're planning on using this technique, please make sure you use the markers first before using the pens. This is because both the Muji pen and the Crayola super tips are super wet, so if you write down the name of the event first, then try to highlight over it, you'll end up smudging them. I personally have yet to find a black pen and colored marker or highlighter combo where this smudging doesn't happen, so please let me know if you have any suggestions in the comments. Like other planners, Passion Planner also has major holidays in the bottom right-hand corner of these boxes, so I'm just using that same marker to highlight these as well. I probably should have used a ruler or a straight edge like I did with the lines before, but I didn't, so please excuse the slightly tilted and shaky lines. At the bottom of this spread, I'm also going to be drawing a mood tracker to help me track how I'm feeling throughout the month of February. I like mood trackers because they add a little bit of color to a spread that usually ends up being pretty blank for me, and also it sort of forces me to reflect on how my day was every night. I'm also one of those people who has a really hard time writing my monthly reflections that Passion Planner has at the end of their monthly spreads, and so having a mood tracker is just really helpful for that as well. As you can see, my mood tracker for this month is just going to be a couple of hearts that I'm just penciling in with the normal mechanical pencil. Then I'm just going to use a couple of lines to sort of draw this mosaic-like structure within the hearts that will represent each day of the month. Honestly, I did hearts because I was feeling pretty uninspired and not very creative this day, but feel free to use whatever shape you want that you feel like would be nice to have and to look at every day in February. As you can see here, I'm just sort of using my mechanical pencil to count how many shapes and I guess geometric figures I ended up with. Try and make sure you spread out the geometric figures throughout all your figures so that you don't end up with one figure with a ton of different shapes and one heart with just, I don't know, 2 days. Yeah, don't forget that 2020 is a leap year, so make sure if you are doing any kind of tracker for February that it has 29 days instead of 28. Next, on the side of the tracker, I'm just going to create a small legend of the range of moods that I want to track this month. I've seen mood trackers where people track every single mood that they can think of, from hungry to fearful to anxious, but I find that just having 3 moods of being happy, average, and sad is usually sufficient enough. Next, I'm going to take that thicker 0.5 Muji ballpoint pen to go over my pencil markings in my tracker. Yes, the thicker pen does make the tracker stick out more, but I personally never really mastered the art of coloring inside the lines in kindergarten, so having these thicker lines just makes it a lot easier for me to keep my color within the boundaries of each of the shapes when I'm filling in my mood tracker. If you are using a thicker pen though, or if you're just using a new one, make sure you take a break every time you draw a lot of lines in the same area so that your hand doesn't accidentally smudge any of the ink. Finally, I'll be taking those fine line pens that I talked about at the beginning of the video to decide on the colors that I'll be using for my mood tracker. I like using colors that all appear together to sort of create this gradient or ombre effect, but feel free to use whatever colors you think will look good in your spread. To help me remember what colors represent which mood, I'm just going to color in the color that associates with each mood in the legend. Wait a few seconds to make sure that the ink has dried, and then just take a normal eraser to get rid of any extra pencil markings that are still in your tracker. And finally, it's my favorite time, sticker time. Like I said before, I'm using a sticker book by Vicky Botin that has a really great wide range of colors, and I'm just looking for stickers that sort of match the colors that I've used in my spread today. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying not to cover too many of the boxes because I actually use this spread throughout my month to write down daily memories that occur each day. Again, this is just a really great way to reflect on my day every night, but it does mean that at the beginning of the month, my monthly spreads tend to be a little blank or sparse because I'm leaving that space open for when I want to write stuff later. I also haven't filled in any of the boxes on the sides or any of the to-do lists on the bottom because those tend to be, again, things that I fill in throughout the month rather than stuff that I set for myself at the beginning. And yeah, evidently my monthly spreads usually look nothing like my weekly spreads because they tend to be very blank and sparse. But yeah, that is the very quick process that I go through to fill out my monthly spread at the beginning of every month. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's plan with me, and please let me know in the comments what other types of videos you'd like to see, what other types of spreads you'd like to see, and of course you can ask me any questions as well as DM me on my Instagram at planned.with.purpose if you have any further questions. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys have a great February, and I'll see you guys next week with another new video. Bye!